Hello everybody, it's Exterminate here from Team Copper Hail Gaming. I am here with another podcast. It's been a little while since we've done one. But I'm powering through them, trying to put them out. Now first thing I'd like to say before we actually jump into any actual speaking, if you will, if you could call it speaking. I mean, we only have Zach today, so that's as close as we're gonna get. But tomorrow, I'm going to be taking my computer in to get its screen fixed, because it has some loose connections with the screen. So because of that, you're not going to see videos from me for a little while, between 1 and 2 weeks, I would say. So don't unsubscribe, don't do any of that, please, I beg you. You're like 13 subscribers is my following at this point, so please just have some slack on me because I mean it's a Toshiba. It's a really high dollar Toshiba. It's like just shy of $1,000. But it's a Toshiba. I've had terrible experience with Toshiba. So yeah, I need to get the screen fixed, and I'm gonna have him look at the fan because it doesn't sound quite right. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking a short hiatus from videos. But enough of the boring stuff. Don't want to bore you guys too much. Let's go ahead and get into it. Zach, you're a dead person, right?
I'm half dead.
You're half dead. Thank you. So what we're going to be talking about today are the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 specialists. There's a lot of meat here for us to actually talk about, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be going through all of them, and at the end, we're going to be talking about Blackjack. We're just going to refresh our memories with the current specialists, and we're going to give our opinions on the abilities and say whether or not we think they're trash. So that being said, let's get into it. Ruin, gravity spikes. Zach, your opinions.
I think I as part of the four, early four, the first four that you can start out with, Prophet, Outrider, Ruin, and Battery. I definitely prefer the gravity spikes as my favorite out of those all eight choices you have there. I think it's one of the best weapons. I think gravity spikes. It's just very versatile over everything.
It is. Now, the only bad thing about it is it's almost impossible to use properly on any map that doesn't have a lot of enclosed spaces.
Yeah, it is pretty map dependent, but
On Nuketown,
yeah.
say.
Well, I think it's pretty good on Newtown just because it's so small that like you can get
Exactly,
it
yeah. That's
in
what
a
I'm saying.
room. There's
Yeah.
there's there's lots of situations, and it's especially good on like objective based game modes, like on domination. It's like
Yes,
an
just
instant point clear. Just
yeah, just do that on the point and GG.
yeah,
So that's Ruin's weapon. Then we move on to Ruin's ability, which is Overdrive, which enable for those of you who don't know, because very few people would actually use it, enables a temporary burst of speed. Extremely useful for objective running since it can be triggered when you need it the most. You can limit the Overdrive's energy drain by standing still. So, I think in contrast to Gravity Spikes, it's definitely a lot less useful.
definitely. It's not very good. I'd say the only times when you would consider this as a specialist ability would be if you're running a close range weapons. Like if you want
Yeah,
want to use melee, if you're running shotguns, maybe like a pistol or something, you might want
yeah.
this. And I'd say it's pretty good in combination if you want to run melee weapon like as your primary. But other than that, overall, I'd say it's not very useful.
I mean, personally on my pistol class, I think I currently have like Vision Pulse set up.
Yeah, it's probably better just for shotguns and
Yeah.
melee weapons.
And
I'm
if
yeah.
and if you're using in class where running is very crucial to the whole run and gun thing.
Yeah, so close range classes in general. You're not going to take this if you have like a sniper rifle or something.
Yeah.
Not going to get a whole lot of use out of it.
I mean, it might be just as useful for sniper rifles. But when it comes to assault rifles, there's absolutely no point in this thing.
Yeah.
Um, so that's Ruin. Out of 10, I mean, I give him a solid 7 because of how versatile Gravity Spikes is.
Yeah, I'd say based on just his gravity spikes, I'd say he's a 7 or an 8. Just
Yeah,
you can almost never go wrong just by picking gravity spikes.
yeah. And the fact that you get it as soon as you as soon as you buy the game and put it in your Xbox One or whatever, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that definitely has an advantage that you start out with him.
Now, then we move on to Outrider and Vespero, which is just a bow, nothing special.
Yeah, I'd say her weapon is probably probably the worst out of just the weapons, that are based around one shot killing you. The
Yeah.
Annihilator, the Sparrow, the Tempest. I'd say it's pretty bad, especially. Yeah, I just not a fan of it, especially since it's not. It even has drop off the bow. It's not. It's a
Yeah.
fire straight as you fire. So I don't really like it at all.
Yeah, definitely not my favorite of the specialists. However, her ability Vision Pulse is actually pretty good.
I this is my personal favorite specialist ability. I think it's just so useful. It's basically like having a free UAV, but better because you can actually see where the enemies are. The weakness of it is that it's a relatively smart short range, and the enemies know that you used it. But it's just extremely useful and almost like across all classes. A sniper, you can use it to see if anyone's trying to flank you. If you're more aggressive class like an SMG, you could use that to find out where the enemies are that you're trying to flank. It's really useful.
Yeah. I think that is definitely a very useful ability. And because of that, I would give her a 6.
I don't know. I'd probably give her a 6 or a 7 because I just really like Vision Pulse. Though her Sparrow is not very good.
Personally, if I have a choice between Vision Pulse or Combat Focus, I will probably take Combat Focus unless I really need to know where people are because I'm at a disadvantage based on my weapon.
Well, I personally don't really like Combat Focus, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Um. So that was what was her name? Outrider.
Outrider.
Yeah. Now we move on to Prophet and his Tempest.
It's okay. It's average.
Uh, I have absolutely nothing to say about it because I personally don't like it one iota.
I think it's, eh. Eh, There's no I don't. There's not a whole lot of reason to pick it when you can just do something like the Annihilator. I think it's just
Yeah.
kind of bland. I mean, it's not wrong to take it. It's just usually never
Yeah.
optimal.
Glitch. I don't. No, nothing to say about this one. It's mediocre at best.
Yeah, you can get off some really cool plays with it, but it's pretty specific. Like it's a very small
Yeah.
range where it's actually useful, and especially since you yourself don't even know exactly where you're going to teleport back to, can make it kind of inconsistent. So it's I don't.
Yeah.
It's not a fan.
It's Prophet. I'd give maybe a 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I mean, I'd say he's probably the worst starting of the original four, the main four that you start out with.
Yeah. Then we move on to Battery and her War Machine. Now, War Machine I think is absolutely terrible, but it's really fun to use.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Gravity Spikes. It's better on objective-based game modes where you know where the enemy is, so it gives you a clear target to aim at. In something like Team
Yeah.
Deathmatch or even something more like Hardcore and such, I probably wouldn't take it. It's just not that good. But it's it can be really annoying to get killed by the War Machine. Just one
Yeah.
shot, no counterplay. It's fine. If you're playing something like Domination or Hardpoint, maybe you should take it. But it's
Yeah.
whatever. Average.
Definitely average. That's all I can say about it. It's fun to use. It's all there is to it. It's fun to use. And then kinetic armor, I think, is basically useless.
Yeah, since some weapons like the VMP and just SMGs can shred through the kinetic armor so fast that really diminishes the viability of it. Um, a few good things is that like it could save you from a sniper body shot that would otherwise just kill you, and like it is just like straight on added health unless they headshot you. But
Yeah.
usually the added health doesn't matter that much, and it doesn't last very long, and it's breakable. So I don't know. It's not
It's
that good. I don't think.
I'd give her a 4.5.
Yeah, I'd probably give her a 5. I mean, kinetic armor is super useful if like it's just the one-on-one fight between you and one dude, because then it just straight up gives you an advantage. But
Yeah, but how often does
overall,
that happen?
yeah, and just for using your special ability to get one kill, usually is not going to be that worth it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a 4 or 5 for battery.
Now, Seraph, potentially one of my favorites, and her Annihilator.
I think the Annihilator is one of the best score streak weapons, if not the best. It's just
Four,
so
four,
useful.
420 no scope MLG Pro.
Exactly. You get a sniper, but with the mobility of a pistol.
Exactly, and I mean, it has I feel like it's almost a little bit of a shotgun too, because you don't have to hit. You don't have to have your sights on your target to hit them.
Yeah, it's basically like a one-shot kill at any range. It's a pistol that has no drop off and one shot kills you at any range.
Do any of the guns have drop off?
The Sparrow does, the bow, and
Well, that doesn't count as. Yeah, that doesn't really count.
but yeah, most weapons don't. But one-shot kill at any range is pretty useful.
Now, combat focus, I think, is absolutely amazing.
I disagree. I think it's fine if you're like really, really, really good, like top percentage of players. It can be good because you're gonna get the kills anyway, so it just helps you cycle through your perks your score streaks faster. But for the average player, I'd say it's pretty hit or miss. Like, sure, you could go off in this bloodthirsty streak and then reach these high score streaks, but generally you're not in an average life. You're not going to get that many kills. So maybe this helps you reach one more score streak than you would have reached, but like you need to
Yeah.
actually get. This doesn't help you get kills. It's just it's good if you are getting the kills to begin with. So it's kind of like
in combination with hardline, I think that it's very useful.
yeah, if you combine it with other things like anti-up, even things that
Yeah.
benefit you with score streaks, and that way you can have more expensive score streaks on your loadout. But in general, it it benefits you if you're doing well, but it doesn't if you're not. So it's kind of I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I'm it's kind of snowbally.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, but it's okay.
Seraph, I think that she's one of the best specialists. I give her an 8.
Yeah, I'd say an 8 or a 9. Just
Mhm.
really good.
Nomad and his hive. It is so ridiculously annoying though.
It's really, really bad. I'd say it's probably one of the worst specialist weapons, but it is super annoying, like going around a corner into a room and just getting instantly killed by the hive mind.
Then we have Rejack.
I don't know.
I'm undead. You can't touch me.
I think it's pretty good if you're against players who are just so unobservant that they don't notice like the green smoke around your corpse. But like good players, like if they shoot down a nomad, and they see the green smoke around him, they're gonna wait for him to either bleed out or get back up. So generally, you're just gonna die instantly right after you cast it, unless like you were killed from super long range or with an explosive or a score streak or something. And you can immediately boost jump after rejacking, so it does give you a little bit of juke potential. But overall, I'd say it's just not that useful, and generally you're usually just gonna die right after you rejack.
True. Honestly, Nomad, I'm not sure what I would give him out of 10.
I'd say a 3. Both his weapon and ability are pretty lackluster.
Yeah, they certainly leave something to be desired.
Yeah.
Reaper, Scythe. Now, I actually use this, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's extremely useful if you get the drop on people. Like, since the Scythe, it needs to, like, needs a little bit of charge time. It needs to begin to spin up before you can actually, like, fire it. It isn't very good in, like, the close duels when someone, jumps right in front of you and, you need to use your specialist ability. But it's really good when you get to initiate the fight, like, you come around the corner, with this already spun up, then it can be really devastating if you catch people off guard with the Scythe. So
maybe objective based.
Yeah, it's pretty good in objective based, though it's also not terrible. It's not that bad in like all game types. It really just depends on your mobility.
Yeah.
So I mean I really like Scythe. I think it's one of the best weapons.
It's okay. I mean, probably not one of my favorites, but it's definitely better than a lot of the others.
Yeah, though you can be taken out. The Scythe, you can be taken out rather easily if your opponent has something like an SMG or even something like a shotgun or a sniper where they kill you before you have time to spin up to initiate. But if they give you the time to spin up the Scythe, then you're just going to annihilate everything.
Well, yeah, but if they give you the time to spin up a Scythe, then they're either bad or they're bad.
Yeah. The only time you're really going to do that is when you pre-spin up. You spin it up before you come around the corner. But yeah.
Then we have, then we have Psychosis.
I think it's pretty useful though.
2.8 out of 2.8 English 2.8 out of 8.
2.8 out of 8. I think I'd rate it a little bit higher than that. Usually, the enemies aren't going to be fooled by thinking one of them is the real Reaper. So generally, they just absorb bullets for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, that alone could mean the difference in duels, and it's certainly means everyone instantly shoots the glowing robots running at them. So it can be also useful if your enemies like don't have silencer and stuff to know where they exactly are on the minimap because they have to obviously shoot the clones. And every once in a while, you'll get them to fall and think that you're just one of the clones, and you'll get a cool kill on them. But
that never happens to me because it's just so obvious which one's the clone.
yeah,
Like, maybe if the clone AI was better, it would be more useful, but it's not, so...
yeah. It's not good at fooling people, but just simply as a bullet sponge, I think it's kind of useful.
Bullet sponge, never heard that term used before.
Well, now you have.
Reaper out of 10, I'd give him 8, maybe a 9.
I'd give him 6, probably 7.
I mean, the scythe is just amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Then we move on to the Spectre, and I think if this is the first melee weapon specialist, it is the first melee
And probably
specialist.
the only.
Well, no, Ruin is the first, but if you...
Well, if you call that melee.
It's kind of hard to call that true melee. So, Spectre's Ripper.
I think this is probably my favorite weapon to use. It's just, like, extremely fun
Yeah.
to just dash. And I really like the fact that it's not simply just, Ripper takes... Not like, you equipped a secondary weapon by choosing this, like a melee weapon, because I really like the dash part especially. I think that's what makes this ability so good, is that it gives you the instant mobility.
Probably, yeah.
And it charges up so fast. I think it's the fastest weapon to charge up. Like, it doesn't take almost any time at all. And then you have the Ripper, and I just think it's extremely useful in almost all points. It's good against multiple enemies, because you can chain your dashes, dash to one, dash to the other, and keep going like that. And it's also good on duels because it's one-shot kill.
Then we move on to the active camo, which is like terrible.
It's just it's pretty bad, and it's not even that good at making you invisible. And like you need to stand still for it anyway. It's just not very good at all.
Yeah.
It usually serves no purpose at all.
Spectre out of 10, I mean, I'd probably give him a 7 just because of the artwork.
I'd say he's an 8 or a 9 based purely on the Ripper alone, just because it's just so fun and really very effective.
It's really kind of debatable and it's situational. On maps with longer sightlines, it's kind of hard to say how good it actually is.
True, it does depend, though it is really good. You can, like, boost jump up to a window and then use the Ripper to dash inside, and that can kill longer range people that would normally be at longer range pretty easily.
True. Then let's see who's next. That flame guy.
Firebreak.
Firebreak, right? Wait, where is he? He's right. Okay, here he is. Took me a little while to find him. Him 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Firebreak is. I don't know. He's probably the best, just well-rounded. The Purifier, the flamethrower, is just extremely consistent. You'll almost always get several kills with it, and it's really good against campers. It's good against you charging a room. It's good on control points. It's good just normal team deathmatch. It's just like all around, just very good.
Definitely, yeah.
And the range isn't even that short either for a flamethrower.
Oh, definitely. It's a very long-range weapon for what it is.
Yeah. And then his ability, Heatwave, is also very, very good. It's really good especially in something more like Search and Destroy, where you only have one life, because it's...
Yeah.
If he gets multiple people with this, it's like almost just guaranteed team wipe. Just, if you get hit with this, you're going to die almost certainly, unless you get really, really lucky with your cursor position.
Yeah. And that doesn't happen very often, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So him, I'd give him, 9.5 out of 10, maybe a 10.
Yeah, 9 or a 10 out of 10. It's just, Firebreak's really good. You can never go wrong with either of them.
And then... I don't know if that was Don't Judge Me. We have Blackjack. I really don't know what to say about him. His weapon, if I remember, is whoever you kill you get their specialist. Um, yeah, you get that person's specialist weapon. So
Yeah,
if you're blackjack and you kill, say, an outrider, you would get a sparrow.
yeah. I think I don't really like his weapon due to the fact that it's not really up to you. You can't really choose it. Like, if what if the enemy team just happens to be six outriders? Then it's then your weapon is effectively a sparrow, which isn't very good. But if you happen to kill, like for example, a firebreak, a ripper, a seraph as your last kill, then hey, you got a good weapon. So I think it's kind of random in the fact that you
It's
could get something really good, but you also could get something that's not very good.
it's all about gambling because Danny, aka Blackjack Lee. Let me just give a brief backstory on who he is. He was in a meeting with John Taylor and Hendricks, who pretended to be former agents turned arms dealers. Wanting to sell Lee supplies, he agrees before stabbing one of his associates with a knife for making a mistake. Lee is killed by grunts alongside Go Min and Zulan. I've never known how to pronounce her name. Escapes with the servers. That was taken from CallOfDutyWikia.com. Just gonna cite my source now. Um, so yeah, CallOfDuty.wikia.com. So yeah, Danny Lee is a member of the 54 Immortals. That's actually a pretty cool name.
I think
He also
Seraph's part of that too.
yeah, Seraph is also part of that. So Danny Blackjack Lee is a Singaporean person. He's a Singaporean male who is, contrary to popular belief, previously from campaign, he is actually Blackjack. So you're using a Singaporean character who is actually underrated. So yeah, his weapon, it's a gamble since he also runs via black market in for like the supply drops. There, it's all about gambles. He's all about gambles. So
Yeah, it's there's a lot of randomness when you choose
yeah,
blackjack, and his weapon. I mean, we were talking about that. His ability, I think that's slightly better than his weapon, in the fact that it's like more purely random. You could literally get anything, but you only have six choices at maximum with his weapon.
yeah,
It just happens to be that whatever six specialist you're playing against. His ability, you just randomly get a random ability,
yeah.
and
Well, his ability is you get the ability of whoever you kill as well, right?
oh, is no, I'm pretty sure the weapon is like that, but the ability is purely random.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to go watch Elia's video again.
I'm not
Um,
sure, but either way, it's basically the same thing.
yeah.
And
So
yeah, I mean, I think it's very unique.
yeah,
It's definitely like special, and that I think it makes sense that these sorts of abilities would be on the character that's the blackjack that's only you can only get them 60 minutes a week.
yeah.
Um, I mean,
And about the 60 minutes a week, I think that that's actually a little bit too little.
yeah, but I mean, Treyarch is trying to keep him like special.
I know we're trying to keep him like special, but he's just 60 minutes a week. I think is a little bit sparse, don't you?
Yeah, I think it would be better if once you completed the challenges, you get him for the whole week until the next set of contracts. But
Or maybe like you get him for 180 minutes each day.
yeah, that'd be pretty good. It's just something more would be nice, but
Yeah,
it does take a
uh,
little while to complete the contracts.
it does. So I think that that's all we can say. Maybe in the next podcast, or maybe I'll do a microcast sometime when I get my computer back about the new weapons that were released just a day or two ago. But so I'm going to go ahead and take us out. It's been about 24 and a half minutes. But thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Anything else to add, Zach?
Uh, Bye.